inside Thursday night. How's it going? Alright, strip back, good crack, multi-trade podcast. Share the knowledge you know, help to make our sector grow. Everybody's learning from experts and the journeyman. Insights.
Right, we're back. Season 9, Episode 6. I'm Stephen Buckley. My co-host is Keith Delahan, and this is Insight, the Stripped Back podcast. Sponsored by Snickers Workwear Ireland, and Season 9 is also in association with Hager Ireland and N2 Electrical Wholesalers in Ashbourne, County Meath. Later on this episode, we've got Declan Buggy from the Irish School of DIY joining us to talk about the fundamentals of learning DIY and giving yourself a bit of confidence in having a tool in your hand and knowing what to do with it. So really looking forward to that one. But I guess before we get going, let's talk about what's happening across Ireland right now. Because if you've tried to fill your car, heat your home, run a business, or even just do the weekly shop, you don't need a headline to tell you that something is off right now. You feel it, we feel it, the farmers are feeling it, the hauliers are feeling it, contractors are feeling it. Everyone is feeling it every single day. And the fuel protests we're seeing right now, they didn't come out of nowhere. They're not just about petrol or diesel prices or, a sign on the forecourt. It's about pressure. Real relentlessness, pressure that's been building over a long time, and it's just reached its boiling point. And look, of course, there's bigger pictures at play here. Iran, Israel, America. There's global factors at play. Energy markets, geopolitical tensions, supply chains, things beyond the control of any one country. We all understand that, but there's an obvious external force that's inflating the prices, and nobody reasonable is denying that reality. But here's where the frustration comes in. When people are already being squeezed by those global pressures, why add more weight on top through taxation? Why, when families are calculating every euro, when businesses are trying to stay afloat, when an entire sector is barely keeping the wheels turning, why are we still seeing heavy taxation layered onto something as essential as fuel? Fuel isn't a luxury. It's not optional. It's the backbone of how this country functions. Think about that. You've got farmers out early in the morning, coming home late in all weather, producing the food that ends up on every table in this country. You've got hauliers driving the length and breadth of Ireland, delivering that food, keeping shelves stocked, keeping the supply chains alive. And you've got contractors on the road, tradespeople, service workers, healthcare workers as well, people who physically keep this country moving. And many of them, if not all, are struggling. And that's the part that's hard to ignore. The very people holding things together are asking for help. How do we keep going when we can barely afford to keep our own homes warm? How do we stay on the road when we can't fill our vehicles? It's real. It's reaching a point where people are saying enough is enough. Now look, disruption, it's never convenient. And let's be honest about that too. Roadblocks, delays, interruptions, these things affect everyone. People trying to get to work, parents trying to do runs with the kids in the car, small businesses depending on deliveries. It creates friction and nobody enjoys that. But historically, change has rarely come from comfort. It comes from when people decide that staying quiet is no longer an option. And what we're seeing right now is a collective voice forming. Not perfect, not polished, but it's real. It's real people, real workers. A reminder that this country isn't just systems and politics, it's people. And when those people feel pushed too far, they don't just disappear into the background. They stand up, they come together, they say, this isn't working. And that matters. Because without that voice, without that willingness to speak, to question, to push back, what progress do we actually make? Democracy isn't something that runs on autopilot. It depends on participation, on pressure, accountability. It depends on ordinary people deciding that their situation is too hard and it needs to change. That's what this moment feels like. It feels like a line being drawn in the sand, not just about fuel, but about fairness, about balance, about the idea that while external forces are unavoidable, how we respond to them domestically is a choice. And right now, people are asking for a different choice, a fairer one, a bit of help, a more sustainable one, not just environmentally, but economically. So, yes, there's disruption right now. It's frustrating. But just zoom out a little bit, look at what's underneath it all. Look at a nation of people saying we're willing to stand together when it matters. And in the long run, that might be the most important part of it all. Because if this disruption, but this unity leads to meaningful change, if this results in policies that actually reflect realities of the people that are living through it, then this moment won't just be remembered for the inconvenience. It'll be remembered as a turning point, a moment where people reach their limit and chose to do something about it. So let's hope that the voices aren't being ignored, that they are not being dismissed, that they are actually heard, and more importantly, that they lead to action, real, tangible change that makes life a little bit more manageable for the people carrying the weight of the country every day. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And whether those people feel like they're being supported or stretched beyond what's reasonable, right now, they're telling us that change needs to happen. Loud and clear. So here's hoping someone listens. So without further ado, let's get into the guest interview, Declan Buggy from the Irish School of DIY. Right, Declan, thanks for accepting the offer to come on the podcast and taking the trip up. Delighted to have you.
It's a good old spin up the road, but yeah, no bother at all. Came up from Kilkenny.
Sorry, you're on the graveyard shift. I've seen you sculling a big jug of coffee before you come on. So
yeah,
fair play to you, lad.
Wakey.
Fair play to you, lad. No,
It's
great
one
to
of
get you
those.
up. Great to get you up, lad.
Right.
Look, it's one of the things where we're always on the lookout for people who are doing exciting things, good things,
Yeah.
educational things, and something that we believe is going to not just be a flash in the pan. It's going to be something that will last for generations going on, because it's something that I think has been missing within not just the trade industry in a sense, but within the overall country of growing up and learning life skills along with learning trade skills. And what you've done and what we'll get into later on is something that I think will not just breed confidence into the elder community and the young community coming out of school, but it's going to give people skills that they can use in their day-to-day life that they might not feel they need, that gives them a bit of independence. So fair play to you on that, and I think it's something that shouldn't be overlooked.
They might save themselves a few pounds as well along the way.
That's
because there's a lot of websites out there now that you can register, and basically they're just scams. You know what I mean? Lads going around hanging picture frames for like 500 quid and all.
Yeah.
Like if you know, and I know it's not as basic as that. Having chatted to you there, it's a lot more complex than hanging picture frames.
It is. It's a bit ahead of that, so it is, thank God. But no, like, you are starting off a little bit like that. Like, the picture frame is still learning how to use the correct size bit, the correct size rod plug, and popping into the wall the height you wanted after measuring it down and screwing it in. I think kind of tradesmen as well, kind of, until you start to think like that. I was the same myself a couple of months ago. I was like, what did I actually do is step one, and I actually do is step two and step three. I went into a couple of schools at the start without I just kind of wing it half the time. It's when I'm starting off something until I got there and I was physically standing in front of a class going, Christ, what did I actually do with step one? And then the reality hits fairly quick to be like, okay, I really need to think this through of step one, step two, step three, step four. And when you get into that mindset of it, of how to think like that, it kind of falls into place for you. I feel like kind of most lads can do it.
No, it's funny you say that because we had a chat before you came in and we were just having a conversation about what a good idea it was. Not blowing smoke up your arse or anything. But Stephen was, remembering back to when he had his first apprentice, and his first apprentice, like, he gave him an SCS drill and red rod plugs and said, look, put a few fixings up there for the conduit, and the apprentice went over and put the rod plug on the end of the SCS, so he put it into the wall. So, like, as tradespeople, it comes naturally to us. Like you said, it comes naturally to us. And funny you say that. I don't actually remember back to, how did I learn the fundamentals? Like, you know what I mean? So,
well, not everybody has that, say like father who would be,
of course,
in the DIY sort of realm of even being at home and doing things themselves either. And I think I was sort of just looking, you might have been lucky as well, you might have had a father that would shown you a little few bits or was maybe handy on the tools. Like,
you were a great DIYer earlier. When he was playing the soccer, he was a DIYer.
What to do with the DIY soccer?
Keeping the ball all the time.
Do it yourself.
A diver as well. But like a lot of people won't be sort of blessed with that opportunity. So, you don't account for the amount of time lost by a contractor being on site and actually having to teach the basics to somebody. So to have somebody come in with some sort of level of confidence and knowledge around of what, like you said, items that they have in their hand.
Even I use masonry bits to drill into a wall. I use timber bits to drill into timber, and so on and so on. And it's funny, like, we say, like, kids and lads going off doing apprenticeships, but, like, adults shit themselves, like, they haven't a clue or stuff like that. And half of ours is to try and encourage them when you go to Chadwick's or wherever you go to a hardware shop and you're like, you go in and you look for this, you ask for this, and so on and so on. Half our adult course is basically taking them through, like, if you want a bit of a piece of timber to fill a hole, I always say to them, like, this is a 2x1 pressure treated 16 foot long, this is a not pressure treated 2x1, and so on and so on. And just like taking them through what to ask for and just trying to give them a bit of confidence going into a shop. And you'd be surprised how much they'll pick up on in the space of the 7 or 8 hours for the adults. And taking it back to kids, what you can show them in the space of 2 or 3 hours, they'll soak it up if they're anyway interested in it really quick, which is class. It's deadly to see. So,
that's deadly.
But you see, like, the likes of, any type of individual who would put themselves out into the public realm and stand up and try to teach or, say that they have the skills to be able to pass on knowledge. Obviously, you must come from a type of background that would allow you to stand over those type of skills and teach people.
I think the GEA, in fairness, so I actually worked for Wexford GEA. I used to live down there for around 6 months. I don't know how, I just kind of fell into it sort of thing. So I did, and we go around to primary schools, teaching them how to play hurling, how to play football and stuff like that. And then I eventually came home then to Kilkenny and started my own business. But I kind of thought after a while, what I do normally in my own business before this is rentals. So my father's actually an auctioneer. In Portlaoise Property Partners, Buggy. And so is my uncle in Kilkenny. And we go around and they'd ring us, say, like, something's after happening in the house. Now, this is what really sparked the idea, was like, go over and hang a fire alarm and 2 carbon monoxide alarms in a house, battery ones, and drive off again and charge them, again, whatever you like. And really and truly, you could charge them 120, 130 euro, I haven't a clue. That's grand. And drive off and so on and so on. Hang a curtain rail in this house, do this in this house. And you're kind of like, jeez, if I just combine the schools and the Dixon stuff, surely I can make a business out of that. Like, there's surely some sort of an open here. If I bought around 20 drills to schools and just be like, this is how you do it, this is how you put a bit into the drill, this is a masonry bit, this is a rod plug, off we go. And there's something in the middle there. I just got kind of fed up and nearly feeling bad for people who were struggling. And now all of a sudden you're charging 90 to 100 euro for something that I could show them in 2 minutes. So it's like, I have something here and I'll give it a go. So.
And how does it stem from an idea to actually, there's a lot of balls in actually making it happen? Like, people have an idea, like, easy for me, I'm an electrician, I'll go be an electrician, or start a company, be an electrician. Stephen, the highest end of property maintenance, like, works his way up the ladder, got to where you need to be. To have an idea, how do you you know, how do you make it happen from start to finish? Like,
Yeah, I suppose I'm the kind of biggest contradictory in the world. I have no qualification. I've qualified in nothing. I went off to do my apprenticeship as a farrier for 2 years. You know, blacksmith horses. That's what I was doing for 2 years in Wexford. And after 2 years, I got diagnosed with scoliosis. So I had to stop doing that. And I have 2 bulging discs in my lower back. And I had to stop doing that. So I kind of went, oh, jeez, what shall I go do? So off I went making hurls for 2 years with a fella down in Wexford. Then worked for the GA for 6 months. And then came back and started my own business. But I used to work in joineries from the age of 13, 14, 15, 16 in Dunmore and Kilkenny.
okay,
For years. And that's how I got good at it and making stuff at home and selling stuff on Dundee. But I kind of feel like I'm also the biggest contradiction of I'm encouraging young lads to go do trades. I half did one myself, didn't qualify yet, obviously, but I'm kind of self-taught as well. I teach myself and I build furniture at home and I used to sell furniture when I was 14, 15, 16. So I kind of feel like, well, if I could learn it, that's zero qualifications but I obviously had a bit of a background in it in schools or in joineries and that. Why can't these people learn these?
Yeah, you're prime example. You're in the same situation.
Exactly.
They're in.
Like,
so like it's not like a carpenter going to tell people.
Yeah.
You've learned from the ground up as well. Like,
and I
had the trade, you know.
I feel like it gives the adults so much more confidence when I stand up for the first 2 minutes and say, I have zero qualification. I have zero piece of paper. I actually failed my leaving cert, so I did. And I tell them this. I try and be as open and honest with them as possible. And as soon as you tell them that, they will start telling you, I have no idea what a raw plug is. I have no idea what this is. And you're like, that's grand.
Yeah, there is kind of maybe like an embarrassment to say that you don't know what that is. If the likes of like if I was standing in front of someone and someone didn't know what a 3-pin plug was, do you know what I mean? Like,
I still get intimidated sometimes going in for the tradespeople because in the back of my head I go, I have no fucking qualifications. It's crap. But I back myself standing beside any carpenter. It's like, but it's just I kind of feel like as well when you tell them that, like, and hiding stuff as well. I hid it from the mother for 4 years, 5 years, I'd failed the leaving cert. I convinced her that the new system, that an 07 was a pass. And she had no clue, God knows. So I kind of feel like when you be open with people like that at the start, especially when they come in and they see this young fella standing up at the top of the room and they go, what the fuck was that like going to teach us? And then all of a sudden, within the space of 10 minutes, we have a full-on 4-inch concrete block lobbed up on everyone's desk and have a drill in their hand and off we go. And it just rolls and rolls and rolls and 8 hours will pass real quick.
Do you find that there's a gender skew in regards to people coming forward and being happy enough to open themselves up to want to learn?
Yeah, massively. So we've had, I think it's the bones of 300 adults so far have signed up for the beginners courses. And I think there's 14 lads is on and the rest are women. So there, which is grand. Some of the courses are women only because we kind of thought women will be intimidated going into for the men, especially men who know more than them. In fairness,
they're more flexible,
So we kind of thought maybe do a women's only one, and they fill out real quick. So I think we sold out all of them bar 2. So so far.
But you see a lot of like life is different in this generation compared to what it was like back, like even 40 years ago. Like where you see a lot of women would even stay in relationships for a lot longer, like, and the men would do a lot of the stuff around the house, like, and I think it's becoming more common now, like, for women to be more independent, like.
I was just about to say that, like, the amount of houses that like, we go in, you would have seen it during the domestic game, where the husband or whoever doesn't have hands to bless him.
That's tough.
And like, if in my mindset, like, if that was me and I didn't know, and I seen a course coming up, like. The amount of women that be belittling men for not being able to do it is unbelievable.
But the fact that they'll actually now go looking for these courses or see them available or see them advertised, and they're not going to the Zumba class or they're not going to, they're actually going out like and getting a drill in their hand and doing it. It's probably a new lease of life for them as well, and confidence as well.
It is like, and it's that kind of thing. Like every day you could count at least 10 of them to go to us. I can't wait to go home and try this. I can't wait to go home and use this or do that or whatever. And it's just like, again, you're talking about lads not being able to do it as well. It's that learned uselessness kind of, I call it, where like, I don't know how to do it. No big deal. I just pay a fella to come in to do it.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like, oh jeez, I can't afford a fella to come in to do this. Like it's more in the ear to get someone to call in. So it's like, I'm a man, I might go off and do it, but you go off and do it a little bit. They're kind of half being sent as well to go learn how to do it and come home and fix it as well. It's not just women are jumping at it in fairness, but they're kind of being sent privately as well. I've had 3 or 4 of them tell us that the husband told, go on and go do it.
If you want to get that done,
go ahead and do that. Like, so.
And then like, in terms of, men are the same, but like women, like, in terms of like interior design and stuff like that, they're mad to change things.
Yeah.
And get a change yesterday. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I'm speaking from experience here. Do you know what I mean? There's the amount that I'm thinking of the amount of chores I have, or the amount of pictures I have to hang on.
Yeah.
Like if she gives her card actually, I'll send her down to you.
No, start running courses for him up in Dublin.
Yeah, I could do your Dublin chapter. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, will you go home? Will you make this? Will you make that? Will you make stable doors? Will you make whatever?
Do you find yourself, or has anybody ever floated the word as, you know, you can see school of DIY, but in my eyes, looking at you and looking at the journey that you're on, you're / motivational coach, like.
If no, I'd say the boys would laugh at us at home if I told them I'm a motivational coach as well. But like, I kind of feel like, I've been known as being a bit of a chancer. So like, I kind of feel like, why can't, if everyone kind of embraced that little bit of more, just give it a go. Worst comes to worst, they make a balls of it. Okay, hopefully we show them the skills that they don't hit a cable or hit a pipe behind the wall. Obviously we show them how to use detectors and so on. Yeah. And if they don't do serious damage, well, look at, okay, they made a hole in the wall or they mishung the shelf, whatever. Now we'll spend €100 for someone to go out and fix it. What's the end of the world? What's the worst thing that can happen? Like, really and truly, as long as you put the few bits of safety into it, you know?
You actually put the contractor to proper work anyway.
Yeah.
Give him more to do. Give him more to do when he's there. The day rate, you can get the full day. But so we were talking adults there, and obviously you're not only restricted to adults, like it's kids as well. What way is that? Well, I know we were chatting before, just trying to get a scoop of it, but it's really interesting. Like,
yeah, the adults are a weekend thing, so we do adults of a Saturday, and it's actually quite difficult for the adults to get around the country. Do big enough of a lap to go to here, to here, to here, to here. Yeah. So what we're doing for kids is, so when we're in schools, we do TYs and LTAs is what we started off with. We thought that'd be a good market. They do our open workshops. They know how workshops go. We'll try to get in there. And we got sold out fairly quick, so I have another fella on the road now doing only schools. And then we're going to release primary schools now starting around next week, so we are put up a video and hopefully try and get into a couple of primary schools. I went to one a few weeks ago and it went real well, so I was like, I'm on something here as well. There we go. So that went well, and that kind of came from when we're off schools. I had a midterm camp in Kilkenny, and I had 50 kids from the ages of 10 to 14. And I actually let on 1 or 2 9-year-olds as well, where parents ring and be like, why Johnny or Paddy is 9, do you mind if he comes? And I kind of, do you know what, feck it, sure, come on ahead, like, see how we go. And when they came, I couldn't believe how good the little lads were. They were better than the 14-year-olds in lots of ways, in that they'll soak up the information, they want to be there. Who wants to be my sweeper? Who wants to sweep the floor for us today? They're mad to grab the brush and stuff like that. It's brilliant. But like, we went off, and this week we only finished it today. We're in Wexford, in a place I used to live in, Wexford Owlert, deadly little village. And I had the lad that works for us is from there, Adam. He's brilliant, thank God. You know yourself, you'd be nervous taking on a fella, especially with a van and all the responsibility. And thanks to God, Adam is deadly. And I had one of the other lads with us who's a teacher. He came along for the week as well, and we had 35 kids in Owlert this week. So we had, and in the one in Kilkenny there was 50, which is our max number. So I was like, again, we're onto something here. And brilliant. They're using power tools, they're using hand tools, obviously in a safe way. Like I was saying to you earlier on, we don't just go, boys, there's a jigsaw, off you go. So they don't use the jigsaw really till day 3, late day 2, day 3. But by start off, we build projects with them. So all of them get to go home with like a medal holder. At the end of it, they give them a blank piece of MDF and say, draw out your shape, cut it out onto it, and we fix it to a base, nail in nails, put a hanger on it. But along the way, we get like bundles of 2x1s, and you give them tasks. Like you explain to them like end grain, face grain, edge grain, and you explain to them like we have to make a bridge or a set of stairs or a platform that has to be able to hold 2 or 3 on it. You give them 2 or 3 little clues, and you say you have 5 minutes to design it, and you have an hour to make it within groups of 3 or 4, and then judge them. So you're adding in the competition element into it, which makes them want to do it, gets them competitive. But a lot before that, we've all now shown them how to use a drill, so they know how to drill holes, drive screws, change the bits, and use a handsaw. And again, it's not just on top of them telling them, you're letting them make a mistake, and then you go over to them, and I'll fix that, I'll leave him alone for 5 minutes. Let this lad make a mistake, I'll fix that, leave him alone. So it's...
That'll be good for you.
Might get something done.
So it's like...
I do that to myself any day.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's fail learning, as you call it, kind of day. Like, they fail, they mess up, no bother, we'll fix it, we'll move on to the next thing. There's no problem. Stay doing it nice and quick, and they keep you entertained.
Yeah. So. The likes of... obviously the reaction that we spoke about with the adult learners, and obviously giving them a new lease of life, but you can see that obviously a marketplace for the younger kids to start learning these type of skills that will be sort of prevalent and needed coming into the future now, especially with the likes of the housing crisis and people trying
Inflation.
to pushing their kids more into hands-on work.
Brilliant,
you're giving them
Head start,
a head start, a good stepping stone like within the trade. But obviously, you know, you must have some sort of feedback coming in, maybe through, you know, educational boards or something like that, like, or maybe even through, like, you know, government agencies, maybe that this, you might be onto something.
We are. It's something I'm used to starting to just get better, is the bookwork side of it. I have a lady now, she's brilliant, Rachel, she works for us, she's doing 25, 30 hours a week. She's unreal, in fairness to her, and she deals with all that side of it. And thank God she's good at it, because I'm useless at it. But she deals with all that, and we are getting queries. We're kind of trying to perfect what we're doing and then go to them as well. When we have their attention now, we get it perfect and then go to them. Like any small young start business, we started this in November, is all. Like, we're still learning loads. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is taking off, which is brilliant, but we are still learning as we go. Mess up. We did a camp this week. One or two things were like, okay, that didn't work. We'll do this next week. But you still send them home happy. You know,
exactly.
So, and in terms of the apprenticeships, like, just trying to encourage them to go do apprenticeships. We go to TY classes, and the first thing we talk to them about is money. They haven't a clue. Like, God love them. It's like, how much do you think it costs for someone to call out to your house and hang up a curtain rail on the wall? They haven't a clue. Like, God love them. So, you get their attention fairly quick. Talk about money. Like,
talking about the money, if I was able to do that.
Exactly. Like, if I can fix that.
You see the Facebook, you know, bars, like, and every town has ones, like, you know what I mean, and somebody's writing up, and it's, you know, it would make our blood boil sometimes. You see people writing up, you say, "Jeez, I need to go down and do that just for them, just get it done." Because you know somebody's going to completely,
how do I do this? Somebody's going to take them down.
It's an awful thing to see, but obviously everybody's out there like to make a quick buck, like, but it doesn't just end there, like, you know what I mean. Like, there's obviously the business element of it, like, and actually, you know, being able to save a bit of money and a bit of coppers, like, by doing it yourself. But you can become a bit of a handyman as well, just even around the local area, like, because it's a
trade in itself.
Like, there is a local, you know, group within every community, like, of vulnerable people, like,
unfortunately,
and to have somebody there that's come through the likes of, you know, the Irish School of DIY. They probably get a bit of background about you while they're doing it. They understand why you're doing it, and it sort of then embeds that ethos then into their mindset then as well, which is not a harm for them coming out feeling that way as well, you know.
Yeah, it's great. Like, a lot of people who come to the courses, the adults wise again, are divorced or single women, so they are all between 30 to 50 is a lot of our kind of thing, and it was something I didn't really think of, to be honest with you. But it's a very blatant observation.
Makes sense.
So. It's like it's a thing where, you know, a lot of communities would come together if it was sports, or, you know, like, and lads like would come together with the likes of the five-a-side football we spoke about as well. Like, where now, like, you probably have, like, you know, as you said, like, women coming together now that have come and done your course, like, and they're actually probably doing projects out of it as well. Do you find a lot of people be sending you pictures maybe of stuff that they've done?
Two women sent us a picture afterwards, never met before the course. They were sitting in a cafe afterwards having a cup of coffee. I was like, that's brilliant. Like, a day or two later, I was like, that's deadly. I did that kind of thing a little bit. Like,
you introduced them to each other,
which is nice, which is lovely.
But in terms of the kids, you'll know now in the next couple of years. You already do know with Adriana, but and I know my lad's 17 now. He's gone, but you know, when summer comes around, Easter's coming around, and, you know, the kids' summer camps, the go-to was, you know, sports. So you'd send them to
cool camps.
Send them to cool. You send them to. I was sending Callum to Gaelic camps, and he hates Gaelic. Now he loves soccer, but you were sending them to camps that maybe just to get them out of the house. But wouldn't it be great? Just thinking about it now, like, wouldn't it be great to have something like that in your local area where you could, you know, send the kids and learn some skills,
and
like
row your hair.
They're out of hair. Like the main thing is, like, that you're, you know, you are getting the kids out and active, right? So they're not sitting on the, you know, you're taking 2 weeks off on your on the PlayStation. You know what I mean? You're learning nothing. You're building on Roblox or something like that, or Minecraft, and learning nothing, you know.
Fix the shed then or something. Give you less.
But like, wouldn't it be great is that the aim to get a, like, where does a I'm trying to quote Dan from our old studio, where do you see this going? But where do you think it can go?
Jeez,
without putting you on the spot. Like,
no, you're grand. I have a fair idea where I want to go. In fairness, I do see it going like, why can't we have the Dublin School of DIY?
Yeah.
Why can't we have the Munster and maybe even smaller again, the Cork? Why couldn't I have a fella in each county almost, or each maybe say if you join Kilkenny, Carlow-Laois kind of thing together?
Yeah.
Why can't we have a person in each area?
And is it just a day program?
So I do a day program for the adults. There's follow-on courses. So we started off as, again, I'm doing the adult ones on my own. I bring one of the lads who's a carpenter along with us that I used to work with, Mark. He's a gas man, or one of the other lads who's a teacher, Colin. They come with us. They're brilliant. Fairness to them.
Yeah.
They come with us and give us a hand. But I have a beginner course, and then we're in the middle of setting up a run of intermediate courses, and then we're going to go off and do tiling and timber flooring courses with them as well.
Brilliant.
So that's the plan with that. And then with the schools, for now, or it is a one day program. For the point being is we find it hard, like sometimes the schools are slow to release money, which is actually a good thing, thank God, because some of them just waste money, but it's good to see they are a bit of a slow thing. So we are getting bookings for next year for, will you come in for 2 days with this class, 2 days with this class. So it's lovely to see, like, they enjoyed the one day, seeing what it was like, was happy with it. We'll go again for 2 days.
And it's allowed you to grow in a sense as well by continuing to move on and get the name out there, move around.
Exactly.
You were stuck in one spot, like, and you were spending too long in one area. You know, you could get bogged down. It's giving you a chance to hone the skills, and you're literally getting feedback as you're going.
It's a slow burner, like.
So
you kind of sometimes things like that you do want to be a slow burner, like. But at least with the school there, like, you know, you've work into the future. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And if you do well, they'll get you back time and time again.
Yeah, that's the lovely thing about it.
Because I know with schools, it's kind of like, what did the TY do last year? Yeah. That's what you'll be getting from the third years, you know what I mean? And they'll be looking to do it, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I think that's what kind of sparked the whole thing as well, is I had my own business, like I said, doing a rental houses and doing stuff like that, and getting houses ready for sale, and if I could do electrics, obviously, or plumbing, I'd hire in plumbers and electricians, whatever. But we do a lot of spraying and painting and timber flooring and stuff like that as well. But I kind of find it very hard to, like, I take on a fellow with us and then he'd be useless enough, so I just get rid of him. And I go take on another fella a few weeks later, get disheartened, he's useless. I found it very hard to either go very big and invest thousands into it.
Yeah.
Where I can kind of see a clear path now that I've started this, that I now know that my whole September is pretty much booked up for the fella that's working for us already, and October's half the way there, and so on and so on and so on.
Yeah.
So kind of like, I can see this growing really big.
Scalable,
that word.
Have you had brand backing, or?
I have. We're doing work with Chadwick's. Chadwick's are class. In fairness to them, they're brilliant. They're not the worst to deal with at all. They're handy out to deal with, and you can actually see it. I like that. You don't really pay attention to these things until you're kind of half into it, but you see that they're doing work with, like, This Is You, Lisa Daly. They're doing it with your man Finn Walsh. You know, he's the hilarious farmer fella. You know, that's that. Yeah. And they're doing it with loads of these other small, not influencers, but like people who now have a bit of a following on social media.
Niche stuff,
and they're getting these all together, and I've kind of ended up chatting to 2 or 3 of them through along the way. David Swan, the carpenter kid who does the yoke with us, and they're paying us, and they're doing all these things with us, and they're giving us great promotion. They have a huge following and so on, and their stuff is deadly, obviously, as you know. And it's just being backed by, like, probably the best hardware shop in Ireland, like, really and truly, which is brilliant. And there were no hassle to get going. I asked them, I rang them straight up, and I told them about the idea, and from day one they were pretty much on board to go ahead with it. So it's great.
Yeah, I think it is the type of industry now, isn't it, where if you're anyway savvy, like, in getting the face out there and utilising social media and TikTok, which you have been using,
making it a bit of fun as well.
Yeah, making a bit of fun, getting your face in front of the camera. Yeah. It sort of bridges that gap, doesn't it? And humanises the not the Irish trade and the schooling of it, but it's just, you know, just getting the story out there and having people actually relate to you as a person rather than just the school in itself.
You know, when you see the course, like, it's school or a school of DIY, you're seeing Declan on the screen there, and you know who you're going to meet, and like you'll probably introduce your team and stuff like that, so that you know who you're going to go out to. Like, you know, when you book a course, like even we're doing test and certification courses, we're going to do it, but we don't know who you're doing it with.
Yeah, exactly.
That anxiety of meeting the person and not knowing what he's like.
Is this like going
is he going to be hairy? Is he going to be prickly?
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the social media thing it's a law in itself, kind of, but it was something I'm used. That sort of stuff. I'd be straight up pictures. There's only kind of learn fast or fall off, like, kind of thing. So I think the first video I put up, I still get the lads taking the mick out. I just stood up there and went, hello. And the boy is saying, my younger cousin who's like 10, every time he sees us, hello. Fuck off. But it's just a matter of just do it, unfortunately. I got advice off a woman from Tip, from Holy Cross, Una Ryan. It's an American person.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't even know what American meant, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I told her about the idea, and she goes, yeah, that'll work. I said, I'm going to start in January. She said, no, just start now. Why not? And I went, what do you mean just start now? She said, put up a video. Just do it. Just tell people, see how it goes. I guarantee it'll go well. Put up a video, and the next day, within a week, I had like 10,000 followers. I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And off we went.
You know, you're on something we went. Then, you know?
I was like, I'm on
exactly. So great advice.
Have you got your own spot then as a base?
Yeah, so I threw up a shed when I came home. Actually threw it together. Thank God I live in the middle of nowhere, I live in the countryside. But threw up a shed in the garden. It's big enough, yuck. It's around 105 square metres.
So permission in,
Oh, you can get that now. You can actually rent that out now.
Yeah, it is. It's the finest. No, we mixed it all by hand as well. Like I had the Bob obviously coming home starting a business. So between myself and mostly myself, but the brother gave us a hand 2 or 3 days. Stood there with a cement mixer and off we went, mixing concrete. Set up a section, report this today, move on to the next bit, pour the next bit, and so on and so on and so on. I put up the shed over the space of 2 or 3 months, and I kind of just had a workbench there already, and then just tidied it up a little bit, put a sign on the background, and hung up a few tool holders on the wall, and that's the studio, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Off we went.
You've had a bit of a push now, getting around, doing the podcast, getting on the radio. How's that been for you? Has it been like a pinch me moment?
A little bit. It's a bit weird. I was out with Claire Byrne the other day, and I was like, oh my God. And even going into it, she goes, "They says just bring in a basket of tools." I had no clue like what to bring in. So I bought in jigsaw, drills, sanders, squares, handsaws, everything. And I just lobbed them up on the table, and she went, "Oh my God." Literally So no, she's brilliant though, in fairness. It was right crack. Came in, chatted for 20 minutes. She was sound enough afterwards, did a little video, interviewed with her, but she was a lovely woman, in fairness to her. And they had actually rang me, like at the start I was peppering people to be like, sorry, do you mind if we go on? If we go on? And they rang us. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm onto something here. This is going well. So brilliant.
It is. We speak about it a lot, don't we? Like the imposter syndrome of
it's brutal.
You know, the Irish not even just the tradie, like, but any type of social media or putting your face out there or speaking on, if it's podcast or radio or whatever it is, you know, sometimes you don't believe what you're saying yourself, like, until you hear it back and you're saying, Jesus, actually, that came across actually okay. But
exactly.
It is literally, you know, if you don't do it, like, loads of these individuals over the course of centuries have had ideas, like, and it's just acting on it and getting it done.
The balls and do it, just do it and shut up about it. Just get it done. And that was the whole thing.
Head first,
Yeah, and that was, in fairness to Una Ryan, Mark, and
a great bit of advice.
Oh my God. And it's like talking to the female version of me. It's just shut up and go do it. Like,
what are you waiting for?
Why wait for? What's the lesson for? Like, just get it done.
Is it a type of, you know, you see businesses out there which might look like, you know, your standard business, which you'll hear about on most like business podcasts or whatever it is, like where they be all eventually like reaching a point of, you know, looking for an investor or looking for somebody to grow it. Like, are you at that stage, you think, now?
I don't know. That sort of stuff frightens the shite out of me. I haven't a clue about it, and I'm often thinking, should I go off and do a business course or a business degree? But I won't. I don't have the patience for it either. I kind of would prefer to have someone just advise us and help us. But I kind of feel like I want to get through a year of it, so I know exactly how the year structure works, and whether I can exactly get this many people, this how many on average we sold per camp, and so on and so on and so on, and then be like, right, what's the plan now?
Yeah, once you have the right structure in the one area, you can probably use that business model.
Yeah, exactly. Just and it's kind of the hard stage where we're saying no to nothing still in that sort of way. Like last week I was in a school in Roscommon, and the next day we were home and in a school in Dublin, and the next day I was down in Cork. So it's a bit all over the place, but I kind of feel like if I say no in Roscommon, what do I do in a few months' time if I got someone from up the country that end? And now all of a sudden we're like, right, you have to drive back to Kilkenny every day or something, do you know what I mean? The learning as we go, the whole thing.
There'll be moments and it'll probably just, you know, force your hand.
Like we had no choice. I started taking on, we were meant to go to Australia, myself and herself, for 3 weeks, and it got cancelled. And as soon as we had booked it, I was like, do you know what, take a leap. I started taking bookings while I wasn't going to be here. So I said, I have to get someone. I now have to get someone to fill them, so chance it.
Yeah, exactly. What's the worst that could happen?
What's the worst that could happen? It turns out it doesn't work. We give back the van, sell the tools.
Wait to Australia.
Chat soon.
Can you Do you ever find yourself sitting easy, or are you always?
No, I'd be that sort as well. Like I kind of, I'd be up at 10 o'clock, like editing videos and doing stupid stuff like that, and I'd be out in the shed recording myself at 9 o'clock at night and doing stuff like that. And then it's kind of hard to play hurling still as well. Hurl with our club, Erin's Own at home, and try to go to senior training, and then try to go to this, and then try to do that, and then do that.
Yeah.
And then I see a blank day, and I know I should be sitting down and trying to build it up a bit more, but I'm like, just got a phone call off the auctioneers the other day. I'll go down and do that job when I'm there, and then still get paid when I'm here. But it's just trying to get out of that mindset of do, and
you need that anchor a bit, don't you?
Just
to sort of anchor you a bit down,
and then go, right, I need to do this and see can we progress this side of it a little bit, and then move on to this side, or get halls booked in and get stuff booked in, and so on and so on.
Very hard at the start. You kind of have to do all that stuff. Like people talk about work and work-life balance and stuff, but when you're starting out with something, there's no work, there's no balance. It's just,
it's actually this week I've actually found myself, I'm actually feeling run down. I think I was getting sick and all kind of. But
a lot of people are sick this week.
Hold the reins a little bit and steady up this week, and I go, right, here we go, and see we go again. So.
It happened to you there recently as well. It just comes on you, doesn't it?
It does.
Literally last week, I was like, I think it took me first day off work for sickness, like in 4 years.
Days,
4 years, I was like, and she was like, "What the fuck? Like, what are you on about? Like, you can take a day off. You own the business." Like, I was like, and I ended up taking ibuprofen at half 10, and I was on the computer at 11. So I still done a full day's work. Like,
right,
I just felt better for it.
I know
what
the
I mean?
feeling. Like I feel so guilty for doing nothing as such. Like you're kind of like go.
Yeah.
Not a bad way to be.
No,
in a
exactly.
way.
I kind of feel like if I didn't, I'd be useless, and I'd be giving out to myself for being useless.
I'd be the same. That's what I said. It's like with the podcast, you feel like that if you take your eye off the ball, or you know, if you don't sort of keep putting 100% into it, that it'll explode. It probably won't, like, but you make yourself
that feeling that
like if you're not on it at all.
No, it's okay to feel that way, like, you know.
Yeah,
I think that keeps your drive, doesn't it?
Exactly. I kind of feel like you're in the same boat. You're on to a good thing. You're doing a good thing. Keep it going now that people are paying attention. Kind of thing. I feel the very same. It's like I haven't put the video in 3 days. Fucking hurry up and get one out. Like, exactly. I haven't done something. Hurry up.
Yeah.
And where can the bookings be done from? Is that just through your social media, or is it a website?
All through the website. So www.direschoolofdiy.ie. But you can text us, Facebook us, whatever, Instagram, TikTok. As I said, I'm not off the phone ever really. So if you text us, you'll get through to me, like, and I'll reply fairly quick. But as all the bookings is done through the website, go into the booking section as adult beginners, adult intermediate, kids camps. So
what's the average price then, looking between, say, like a kid's costing of a workshop compared to an adult?
So they're pretty similar. So the kids camp is for 3 days. It's €40 a day per child, so €120 a day for 5 hours. We try to be fair as well. Our aim is to save money at the end of the day for people, and we are kind of feel like we owe them something. They're being sound enough to back us. We're new. Feel like we're being sound enough to back us. Give them a fair price. The adults then is 125, and that includes all materials. We build a project to start. We start off with a pile of timber and build benches with them, and then donate them off to the local tiny towns. Is what we do.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
Now, if I could, I'd sell them. But you're making benches and stuff. We're complete beginners, and we're like, you know what? Again, just give it back to them. They're lovely. They remember us. That's a nice thing to do as well. And
what's the youngest age then that you can get in at?
So now, again, we had said for this week and next week I'm in Wicklow the week coming in Kiltool to do another kids camp. That one we had initially put up for 10-year-olds, but the more I do them, the one in Kilkenny and the one this week in Wexford has been like, I had a few 8-year-olds this week and they were not bothering. They were good. So kind of like, maybe, do I advertise it at 9? Do I advertise it at 8 and be strict, or 9 and be a bit fluid with it? Yeah. So I'm 8 or 9. So, and with primary schools, it'll probably be, again, playing around with it, I'd probably go 4th, 5th and 6th class. It's kind of the age I think will be spot on.
Yeah, no, you're onto something.
Deadly, yeah. That was an interesting one, yeah. The old brain is firing.
Like, you know what I mean?
It is.
For me, it's
something that was missing, like, you know.
He wants to get a couple of his apprentices on.
I feel lads do there.
For me, it started off like schools. If I can get to a school or two a week, I'll make enough money to see kind of build it. And if I got to do the odd adult course here and there, sure, it'd be great. And then I'm like, okay, we're on to this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I do this. And then there's lady sheds and men's sheds ringing us. And then there's special needs group kids ringing
Yeah.
us. And then there's this group. And I'm like,
Were you surprised?
unbelievably surprised. I was
Yeah.
like, the sky is the limit here a little bit. Now, my attitude now towards it, from what I've written down in my diary, I have a book, I do everything in a book, I'm no good at computers and that.
Yeah.
So what I've written down at the start of November compared to what I write down now is completely
Chalk and
different.
cheese.
Chalk and cheese, like so, which is brilliant. It's gone in a positive way rather than a negative way. So
Yeah.
it's, thank God.
Yeah. Class. Yeah, I think we've covered everything. And that was
Yeah.
the hardest question as always to you, Keith, at the end.
Yeah, Spotify playlist. The hardest
I-
question. Did you ever think of what song you'd like to put on the playlist?
I actually did. I go, Luke Kelly, hand me down my Bible.
Oh,
One of the boys sang
Jeez,
it.
we've got a great
the best
playlist.
playlist.
Best
One
One of the
playlist.
boys sang it. I used to hurl with a club in Wexford, where I was today, Owler de Balloch, and we won the intermediate county final. And one of the boys stood up and sung this, and I had never heard it, and it was the best thing ever. Barry Keogh, and it was the funniest thing I've ever heard, and it was the best crack.
Did
And
he
ever
sing it
since I
well?
remember, no. Rough as Bears Hole, class. And
Yeah, yeah.
God, I thought that is my favourite song ever, and I still listen to it.
Give us a few bars there. Go on.
No.
Declan, it's been class.
Boys, sound out for that.
Really appreciate it, lad.
Wish you all the best for the future, man.
Sound out,
Fair play
boys.
to you.
Fair play, lad.
Gentlemen.
Fair play, lad. Well done, well done.
Season 9, episode 6, in the can. Another one done. What an episode.
Yeah, kind of hard to get the end of this episode done. We got a fit of the giggles, but Declan Buggy, what a man. Really appreciate him making the journey up to share his relatively new business adventure that he is on, and I think it's a great thing he's doing, and I think the trajectory of it is just up, and I suppose endless possibilities as well.
Yeah, look, I'm an avid viewer of Dragon's Den and the likes of the Shark Tank in the US and stuff like that, and you see these people coming on with ideas that seem so simple, but like we mentioned on the podcast, it's the most simplest ideas that if you're willing to get up and put some action in place and actually get them going, could be something amazing. And I think that's the trajectory, like you mentioned, that he's on at the minute. And with the backing of the trade industry and the educational boards and the people that are around him who seem to be, pushing him on and pushing the idea on, I think it's going to be something that we'll see for the foreseeable in the Irish towns and schools going forward.
No, 100%. And for anyone, I suppose, that has an idea, he was a great inspiration, and he got great inspiration from someone that he knows to act on a great idea and don't wait, just do it as soon as possible and do it when you can. No, really enjoyed the episode with him, and wish him all the best.
Yeah, and I think one of the takeaways that I think a lot of people can take from it, and something that we've probably mentioned on many episodes across the last 9 seasons, is that, not to be so bogged down on your leaving cert, for somebody like himself, like who failed his leaving cert and, didn't let that, drag him down and take the negativity out of it. He believed in himself, and he believed in, his own path, and that something would come along, and eventually it did. And I just think that's what people need to harness from this. Is that, it's not the be all and end all, and that, you utilize the skills that you have within to pave your own path,
Yeah, no, 100%. And I hope our listeners get the same benefit we did out of the podcast. And I want to wish Declan all the best going forward. And as we mentioned to him before, we're willing to, tie in with him and give him all the support he needs. Yeah,
and for any parents out there or anybody just looking to get their hands on, some hand tools or some power drills and figure out like how they work and potentially, get a bit of DIY done in their gaffs, head over to the Irish School of DIY, their website, and see what dates they have available, and maybe they'll be somewhere local in your town fairly soon. So yeah, big shout out as well to our main sponsor, Snickers Workwear Ireland, for their continued support.
Yeah, and a big thank you to Hager Ireland for their association with the podcast, and always a special thank you to Andrew and the crew here in N2 Electrical for facilitating us with the studio.
Yeah, and like we always say, if you liked what you heard, make sure you head over to your favourite podcast platform and give our podcast a like or a follow, and then you'll be notified when the next one drops. Take it easy.
See you on the next one.